Hey everyone, it's Tim again. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a quick reading for you from my third story within the Dragon in the White series, Dragon Liberator. This is the technical conclusion of the trilogy, although as I've hinted before there are going to be some more stories to come, but this rounds out the story that contains the Dragon in the Whites, Washington's Dragon Hunter, and then this is the third novella within the trilogy. I don't want to go too long today, so I'm just going to share with you kind of one of the more fun little scenes that comes out once you get through the story. This is taking place in nearby Worcester, Mass, and it's when Liam finds the Order of the Draco and he starts to realize more of his role in the battles and the program, and their desire to take down the Colonel. So, why don't you take a listen? So this starts on page 325. And Liam is down in the basement of Bancroft Tower, where a facility of sorts is located. I don't want to tell you too much. You'll want to read the story and find out. But he's with some people who are helping him, and this is where we find ourselves now. Hey guys, Liam said, what's up? You look like you're scheming something. Well, between your recent training success and the fact that our intelligence indicates that the program may be looking to move on to their plans sometime soon, we have decided that you are ready for the rest of your kit, Katerina said giddily. My kit? Liam asked, confused. What do you mean? I already have my training gear and sword. Isn't that what I would use should we engage the program? Maybe if we wanted you to die right away, Lorenzo said, but we'd prefer for you to live a little bit longer than that. Besides, these items are your birthright, and we've been holding on to them for quite some time. We'd really like to get rid of them and have the shelf space back anyways. Liam's blood tingled in his veins as he felt his blood pressure begin to rise. Shaking slightly, his mind raced with the images of different weapons and tools that he had apparently been owned all this time and would now just be getting. What could they be? He didn't have to wait long. Why don't you follow us, Katerina said, waving over her shoulder as she made her way into the armory. Falling in, Liam and Lorenzo tailed her to the other side of the house and through the corridor into the hillside. They were now back under Bancroft Tower within the stone foundation. Rounding a corner to a door which Liam had never seen before, she removed an old key from her pocket and opened the metal door, the hinges squealing as she forced it open with a firm push. She flicked the switch just inside the room, lit up slowly as the old light bulbs came to life and warmed up for the first time in a while. The trio proceeded inward, but Liam stopped just within a few feet of entering. Unfazed by the sights, Lorenzo and Katerina continued onward to the far end of the room and stopped at a display case lining the right wall. Liam, on the other hand, was still staring with his chin firmly planted onto the stone floor. What he saw was simply amazing. Lining the high walls of the room was a vast collection of arms, armor, and every other form of ancient war gear which one could imagine. Sure, they had some firearms over in a corner for more modern ranged combat if and when needed, but the majority of the room was dedicated to the more honorable and sophisticated weaponry of days gone by. There were swords, pikes, flails, maces, bows and arrows, crossbows and daggers. Another wall was covered in helms, mail, plate, and scale armor, jerkins, and everything in between. You could equip an entire contingent of knights and barely make a dent in the room's inventory. Slowly circling the room, he continued to stare slack-jawed at the sights before him. Laughing to herself over in the far corner, Katerina looked to Lorenzo. This reminds me of how my nephew behaves when I take him to the Lego store. Chuckling, Lorenzo continued watching in earnest. He was thrilled to see Liam's mutual love of the arms on display and saw a kindred spirit in the young man. Liam truly was the perfect addition to the Order of Draco and a proper representative of his ancient and storied lineage. Liam, Lorenzo said, but Liam didn't respond. He was too busy gawking and checking everything out. Liam? Huh? Liam asked, still not really paying attention. Sorry. Did you know that this mace was supposedly used during the Crusades? Where did you find this stuff? We've been very fortunate to receive a large bounty of artifacts over the centuries from private collectors, and some were received firsthand from their original users and kept within our armory ever since, Lorenzo said. Which brings us to your items. My items? What are you talking about? Opening a glass door to a display case which Liam had initially walked by quickly, but hadn't given much thought, Katerina motioned to the items within. This, Liam, is the Triggerson family collection. It has been collected, preserved, and kept in good order in the hopes of a member of your family joining us someday. The pauldrons and tassets belong to a 15th century ancestor, and the woven leather pieces date back to the 13th century. The leather was thankfully well preserved, but its continued survival in our armory is mostly thanks to the robustness of the creatures who gave up their skin. Normal leather would have dried out and crumbled to dust by now, and the sword would have been part of the collection as well, but we were never able to locate it ourselves. Thankfully, you had better luck than we did. As you have now proven yourself to us, Lorenzo continued for Katerina, it is time for you to take possession of your legacy and better protect yourself in the days to come. Again, I highly recommend Dragon Liberator. This was my favorite book to write so far, and probably my favorite one to reread. I really like how it came out, and I think it does the story justice, rounding everything out and putting it to a close while still not fully saying goodbye to the world of the Dragon and the Whites. So if you haven't picked up a copy yet, I highly recommend reaching out, grabbing one, and leave me some feedback, positive or negative. I just want to hear your honest thoughts and reviews. And feel free to hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, or send me an email if you want to discuss anything further. Thanks again for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good night. Bye.